Right, graduates, couple of housekeeping rules. First of all, make sure when you use your trencher, what is a trencher? Okay. When you use your hat, there is a long side and a short side. For goodness sake, don't use it sideways. Okay? You will look funny. Alright? The short side is in the front and the long side is at the back. Okay? Step one. Step two, when you're about to come up, can you please make sure your hood, what's a hood? Make sure your foot rests on your shoulder. If it decides to go off shoulder, you also look funny. You look like you're a prisoner. Okay? No prisoners today. Today is graduation. Alright, so if you let it drop all the way, you look as if, the AFP have to come and take you away. So we don't want that to happen. Make sure it rests on your shoulder. Make sure the two KOI emblems can be seen. Okay, some of you, the thing have gone inside. Can you please turn it forward so that it looks proper? Okay? Now, third thing. When it's time for graduation, you will line up here. Alright? We've got two lovely ladies to tell you what to do. Listen to them, please. Even if you don't want to listen to a lady, you have to listen to a lady. Yeah? This is Australia. All women are equal. In fact, they are more equal than men. Alright? So we give them respect, please. They tell you what to do, please listen. You need to come up here, stop at the bottom of the steps, hand in the little card that you have on your chair. This is to make sure that we have the right name. If you have decided to throw your name away, you cannot graduate. See, these are the rules of graduation. We need to have all these things. Okay? We just want to make sure that we read the right name. So if you haven't got the name in your hand, please look for it now. Is it under the chair? Is it under your gown? Is it somewhere? Make sure you have that card. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 6th graduation ceremony for KOI. We're very happy that the number of graduates has changed. It's increased tremendously, and at this point we've got to do 2 graduation ceremonies, one in the morning and one in the afternoon. So it's a good sign. It shows that people are progressing in their lives, and obviously we look upon graduation as the time when we can all get together and rejoice that we've achieved another goal in life. At this point, I would like to introduce the chairman of AIBM, Dr. Brian Spencer, for his welcome address. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Brian Spencer.
In accordance with Australian tradition, I would like to acknowledge the Cadigal clan of the Eora people as the traditional owners of the land on which the King's Own Institute offers its teaching and where we meet today. But before I proceed, I'd like to pause for a minute to reflect upon 2 great human tragedies which are on our minds today. The first, an act of God, is the terrible earthquake which has devastated Nepal and taken so many lives in the past few days. The second is an act of mankind which has resulted in the execution of 2 Australians in Indonesia. Our compassion and our prayers are with the loved ones of those who have been the victims of these tragedies. Distinguished guests, fellow directors, college staff, graduates, family and friends, it's my great honour and pleasure to welcome you here today to the 6th graduation ceremony to be celebrated by the King's Own Institute. I extend a particular welcome to those of you who are joining a KOI gathering for the first time. First and most importantly, I offer our warmest congratulations to our graduates. We acknowledge your achievements and we share your pride and success on this important day. Secondly, I'd like to acknowledge the important contributions which your mentors and your teachers have made to your academic success. And finally, I'd like to join you in paying tribute to the support and encouragement you've had from parents, family members and partners on this journey. Graduates, just join me please in thanking all those who played a part in your success. May I point out to you that you're now lifetime alumni of the King's Own Institute. It might only be a relatively young university-level institution, but it's one whose reputation for high academic standards and for the quality of care for its students is already well established. I'm confident that as KOI continues to grow and as its reputation spreads, you will be proud to acknowledge KOI as the place where you study. I encourage you to keep in touch with us and to support your alma mater. I'm sure you'll never forget the address at koi.edu.au. I don't need to remind you that we live in rapidly changing times. And if we're to function successfully in this ever-changing environment, we must adapt and innovate throughout our lives. As graduates operating in various professional fields, we need to be ready to take part in the creation of new policy frameworks to advance the cause of human progress. Let's look just for a minute at recent economic growth in our Asian region. For 2014, this growth turned out to be a healthy 6.5%, equal to that achieved in 2013. And it's expected that growth in 2015 will decelerate slightly due to weaker economic dynamics in China. But at the same time, India is expected to grow faster than China in 2015. Economic analysts are forecasting that the Asian region, excluding Japan, will expand 6.3% in 2015, with India continuing to drive up the region's growth with a projected growth rate of 7.1%. Falling commodity prices, more flexible monetary policy, and positive structural reforms are expected to support growth going forward. By comparison, the Australian economy posted a solid 2.7% expansion in 2014, although economic activity in the first months of this year has remained subdued. The trends underpinning widening inequality are part of what we are seeing with that economic growth. Alongside those measures of economic activity, with the Asia-Pacific region becoming a central component of the global economy, we can see signs that this prosperity is not equally shared, but is accompanied by increasing inequality of standards of living. And we'll have to counteract these trends using many policy instruments with new tax structures and lifelong, inclusive and affordable education and healthcare at the very centre of the effort to ensure equity and social mobility. Although we can do a lot to improve the quality of life even in advanced countries, it seems clear that concentrating solely on aggregate gross domestic product will be less helpful in the future in achieving this goal. In the democracies we live in today, it's essential that we maintain our sense of the bigger picture, for only then can we make well-informed and ethical decisions. And the most successful way to keep that balanced overview of the world is to continuously look for new perspectives in our professions and to seek out new ways of helping our communities operate as civilised and supportive societies. For these reasons, it's important for us to embrace the concept of lifelong learning. I hope you'll never forget the importance of continuing to learn in a rapidly changing world. You might even consider coming back to KOI to do some more studies to help you advance your career and to advance your capacity to serve as a responsible citizen. I don't need to remind you that you're graduating at this time in a world which is, in part, still recovering from a severe economic crisis and, in some countries, trying to deal with serious civil unrest. Even in our own country, we've experienced sudden changes in political leadership, and we sense a degree of public cynicism about the morality of some of our political representatives. The graduation ceremony at Dickinson College in Pennsylvania last May, Madeleine Albright, the former US Secretary of State, had this to say: "Our leaders are groping and grasping for ways to secure prosperity, progress and peace in a world that is spinning so rapidly we're struggling to keep our footing. So we need smart, capable young people such as you to get things back on track, to help us make the most of the reality we inhabit," which is another way of saying, graduates, you have important work to do. However, let me say that I'm confident that with your achievements and your new skills, you're well prepared to meet the challenge of our times. I wish you continued achievement in the fields that you choose to follow, whether they be in this country or in distant places. But I simply remind you that you've enjoyed the privilege of tertiary study, and with that privilege comes the responsibility of service to your community, wherever that may be. Never underestimate the power of your own example, and make sure that you persevere with your own idea of what you want to achieve in life. On behalf of all of our guests today, I offer our warm congratulations on your graduation and the best of success in your future careers.
I present to you the graduates admitted to the Bachelor of Business Accounting. Dr. Spencer, I present Mohammed Janet Akbar. Saeed Ali. Francesca Andriani. Ali Ashkar.
Dear parents, friends, relatives, members of the academic staff, lecturers, and fellow graduates. It is an honor and a pleasure to be here in front of all of you to offer some modest words on behalf of all students. Today, it is time to celebrate because it is a day we will remember for the rest of our lives. And we want to celebrate with all of you because living in loneliness is like to live with the ultraviolet one. It means survival, but it is not our case. We do know what living means, because despite our young age, more or less young in my case, we made choices and we took important decisions for our lives and for the lives who do around us. Most of us are born and grew up far away from Australia, but for as much or as little time, we decided that Australia would become our home. So, here we are. After 2 or 3 years, 2.5 in my case, our academic journey ends here. KOI will remain in our hearts as a source of learning and growth, but also as a means in which we made friends. We fell in love, we cried, and we laughed. Thank you, KOI, for bringing so many emotions and so many experiences in our lives. Personally, I have lived unforgettable moments and experiences which I will become to my grandchildren, who will imagine what I experienced, what I saw. I saw those who jumped for joy at the news of some result. I saw people give a high five after presentation in class. I saw people being turned away from the examination for having cheated. I saw tears of frustration, of joy, of anger. I saw young men and women become adults, and adults remember to be a kid sometimes. I saw teachers get excited for their students, and students to be grateful for their teachers. The most important lesson I've learned, and which I practice every day, is that no matter where you come from, what your origins, your beliefs, and your crazes are, when life gives you the chance to meet new people and share a bit of yourself with others, you do it, because the social relationships are the glue of our lives. KOI has given me the opportunity to confront myself with the whole world because here we are one community. We are students, friends, boyfriends and girlfriends, brothers and sisters. We are mates and forever will be. I remember when I made the decision to enroll in this institute. Although I was fully certain of my abilities, I was afraid to fail and not make it. Yet, here I am, to represent all the graduates. I guess that all of you want to join me in saying it is thanks to you, thanks to us, that we are here today to take stock of the past and look to the future with a greater awareness of ourselves and our abilities. We are the best. We are those who will say, I had such a good time. I met such good people. My friends are Mauritians, Indians, Hungarians, Malaysians, Australians. My friends come from all over the world because I was a student of KOI. Today, on our graduation day, we talk about our past, but we dream our future. And in thinking about the future, I want to say goodbye, quoting one of my favorite movies, which is Dead Poets Society, Carpe Diem. Seize the day, boys. Make your lives extraordinary. Congratulations to us, and thank you for being here with and for us.
Now are you ready? See, even I don't know who the person is. I got to turn this over to Hello, okay? Get ready, yeah? Once we announce the name, let's, really give this person a huge round of applause. Remember, 1 pass, 1 credit, 9 distinctions, 13 high distinctions. Ladies and gentlemen, the recipient for the Outstanding Academic Performance Award goes to Serena Polone.